to engineers and C-suite executives. The word Agile seems to pop up all over the place these days. But what does Agile really mean? Is it a mindset, a process, or a methodology? And how do you actually pronounce the word? Agile or Agile? The truth is, like its pronunciation, Agile can mean something a little different to everyone. This is because it's so widely applicable to different products, companies, and industries. And though it's been around for a while, there's not even a defined set of Agile best practices. With this in mind, to clarify the term a bit, by providing a short definition of what it means to be Agile, particularly as it relates to digital companies. Put simply, Agile as a methodology that gives organizations the flexibility and nimbleness they need to define and exceed customer expectations. If this isn't simple enough, let's use a metaphor to show how the Agile methodology delivers more value to customers. So this car represents Agile, and this train represents more traditional methods for developing products, such as waterfall. As you can see, it takes some time for the train to build up steam, as all research, planning, and strategy are done before the train leaves the station. But once it gets going, there's really no stopping it. This means that if you are simply trying to get from point A to point B, this traditional method might be a good way to stay on track. However, if you value flexibility, responsiveness, and an iterative working product, one that you can test as you go, or if your destination isn't 100% predetermined, then sticking to the rails probably won't work out so well. And that's why there's Agile. As most customer-focused and digitally driven companies have discovered, today's technology ecosystem requires short sprints and iteration cycles that force you to take an adaptive path. Also like a car, the Agile methodology involves shifting gears, taking side trips, and even switching out vehicles when the task requires something different. In other words, Agile allows you to reset the navi and course correct when new features and customer demands emerge. Now, compare this to the traditional way of doing things, where a fixed schedule and rigid rails mean you pretty much have to follow the built-in hierarchy of the route. So there's not really any going back or feedback loops, even if the business situation changes. And then there are all those people on board. On the train, each car is like a silo, with the passengers unable to communicate with the engineer and barely even able to collaborate with each other, let alone learn about the customers outside the train. Contrast this with the more agile interior of the car, where everyone can constantly interact and discuss the road ahead, and where pit stops can be made to get fresh talent or chat with the locals. You can even quickly switch drivers when someone is more familiar with the terrain. Definitely not happening on the train. And even though Agile is a great way to catch issues early and make adjustments on the fly, it's important to remember that it's not a silver bullet. If you fail to make adjustments and keep going down the wrong road, even Agile won't keep you out of the ditch. And of course, one of the requirements of Agile is that everyone needs to learn how to drive. And there has to be built-in flexibility that allows anyone to drive at any time. Obviously, this isn't so easy for people who've spent most of their lives on the train. And this is just as true for organizations as it is for individuals. It takes a huge shift in mindset and corporate DNA to get everyone behind the wheel. Fortunately though, once everyone sees how much value Agile can drive, especially in this day and age, with faster product cycles and increased customer power, well, let's just say it's hard to travel any other way.